This conference will now be recorded.
Good evening, everyone. Hopefully you can hear me and see me. It's 7:02. This is January 7th, 2021, which is the 2020 Sine meeting of the Allendale Mayor of Council. Welcome to everyone who's joining us via video and teleconference. I ask at this time that you please mute your devices so as not to distract from the business of the meeting. There'll be 2 opportunities during this meeting for the public to speak, and we will advise you at the appropriate times. And for those of you, we said it at last month that this is the last meeting in 2020, which will start at 7 o'clock, and our reorganization meeting will start at 7:30. Call to order. I would ask Michelle to please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement.
Sure. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting via Resolution 20-275 was sent to the record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website.
Great, thank you. And at this time, we're all going to rise. Please rise to salute the flag.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Somewhat abbreviated agenda. Approval of minutes, the December 3rd work session and regular session.
Excuse me, Mayor, I'm sorry, we need to do a roll call.
You're correct, thank you.
Sorry.
So Michelle, please conduct the roll call.
Councilwoman Homan.
Here.
Councilman O'Connell.
Here.
Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilman Sasso.
Here.
Councilman Strouch.
Here.
And Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Here.
And Mayor Bernstein.
Here, thank you, Michelle. Okay, next on the agenda is the approval of the minutes. The December 3rd work session, December 3rd regular session, December 3rd closed executive session, December 17th work session, December 17th regular session, and December 17th closed executive session. So I would request a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved, Strouch.
Thank you, Jim. I'd request a second.
Homan.
Second.
Thank you, Liz. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilman Sasso.
Yes.
Councilman Strouch.
Yes.
And Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you, Michelle. So the next, we will open the meeting to the public for public comment on agenda items only. So if anyone wishes to be heard on the agenda, please let me know. There's no one here, not seeing anyone on my computer screen. I will close the meeting to the public at this time. Consent agenda, 5 items. Very short. I'm assuming everyone on the council had a chance to read them. Are there any questions about any of the consent agenda items? Okay, not seeing any. I would request a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Great, thank you. Second?
Second.
Thank you, Amy. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan.
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole.
Yes.
Councilman Sasso.
Yes.
Councilman Strouch.
Yes.
And Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you, everyone. Any unfinished business? No. So committee reports. Since we have the time now until 7:30, so rather than, and you won't have much to report on for new items that you've undertaken in in the half an hour between now and then. If you have committee reports for your year end, et cetera, I think now would be the appropriate time. So I'm going to go in our typical order. Councilman O'Connell, would you like to give a committee report?
Yes, thank you, Mayor. With the COVID on the rise again, we request, or please ask everyone, keep practicing social distancing, wash your hands, wear your masks. I know the vaccinations are slowly but surely getting out there, so please keep doing what we've been doing. As far as calls, 2020 year-end calls were 15,246. 911 calls was 1,571. Fire department calls was 161, and AVAC calls were 388. And year to date already, calls are 232 to headquarters. 911 calls are 33. Fire department calls are 2, and AVAC is 11. That's all I have, Mayor. Thank you.
Great. Thank you very much, Ed. Truly appreciate it, and all your work this past year. I know it's been a trying year. Councilman Sasso, would you like to give your report?
Land Use Committee has not met since our last meeting, but I'm looking forward to 2021, which we're already into, and good things for Land Use Committee.
Great. Steve, thank you, and to you as well. Thank you for all your work on your committee. You're absolutely suited for that, and you've been doing a great job. Councilwoman Homan, would you like to give your report?
Sure. The Water Committee continued at the end of the year and has already been working since the beginning of the year on putting together the paperwork for an RFP for the system to go out sometime in Q1 of this year. Just again, saying it's a due diligence process that would be wise for us to go through. We will be reviewing how and when we would actually look at any replies that we get. But certainly that's something I want to assure the council and the public that we would be transparent about that information. And we are also working on the paperwork for a professional proposal for the design and permitting stage, which would be the next thing for the new treatment facility that we've talked about putting in at New Street. And certainly, again, if anybody has questions or concerns, I'd like to make sure that they know that I am always available and that the Water Committee is certainly open to chatting. I also, and I don't know that this is part of my committee report, but I feel compelled, and this is the one time that I have a moment, just to say that, my heart goes out to all the people that were on site at the Capitol yesterday, the ones who were supposed to be on site at the Capitol, the law enforcement persons, the elected officials, and the employees. And certainly, I would like to share with the community that, as an elected official, it's important that, as the Senate chaplain had said at the end, that the power of life and death is in the tongue. And I'm proud that in Allendale, I believe that as elected officials, we've really put people and Allendale, first. We don't let party politics cloud our decisions, and we do debate things, both as elected officials and also within people in our community. And we always try to conduct ourselves in a respectful manner. And I pray that our leaders in the Senate and the House of Representatives can work together to make decisions that are in the best interest of all people in our country, and that we can not see what we saw yesterday. And certainly I was appalled. So thanks. That's all I have.
Liz, thank you, and thank you for all your work on your committee. You did a yeoman's task throughout. I appreciate it. Councilwoman Wazinski, would you like to give your report?
Sure. Happy New Year, everybody. We were still moving along quite fast during the holidays with 220, 230 with our plans. We are aiming to get to about 50% completion by next month. We are still working with the insurance company with regards to the remediation. We've been back and forth supplying them with all the information that they need this past couple weeks. As you'll see on the agenda today, we will be going out to bid for the soil and cap remediation. which is an EPA requirement. Also, we will be hiring a construction consultant to kind of do a checks and balances once we have all of the contracts and paperwork, just to make sure that everything's on the up and up, and just to act on our behalf throughout this whole process. I would like to say congratulations to the new officers of the Allendale Fire Department and the Allendale Volunteer Ambulance Corps, who were sworn in last Sunday. And we have some fun stuff coming up in the spring. We have a new playground that's going to be going in at Crestwood. And we are close to finishing up the first phase of our streetscape, and we will be going to bid for the second phase. As I mentioned in my prior reports, we received additional funding, so we'll be able to continue that. And so we're looking forward to the unveiling of our new downtown. And that's it.
Great, thank you, Amy, and thank you for all your work this past year. I know you put in out days, weeks, hours, months, and you've given years. Oh, right. I didn't want to age her. I didn't want to date her. But
no, it's true though. I've seen it. The hours that this woman puts in.
Yeah, I know. Councilman O'Toole, would you like to give your report?
Absolutely. As you know, the budget process is well underway. So the Administration, Finance, and HR Committee met last evening to discuss the upcoming budget. We have a difficult task ahead of us. We still have a long way to go. Therefore, we'll be meeting with department heads in the coming weeks and looking to see where else we can make any changes and save some money. We'll be meeting again the week after next, probably 50 more times before we introduce the budget. So that's all for me. Thank you.
Great, thank you, Matt. Thank you for all your work. Councilman Strouch, would you like to give your report?
You think I know the order by now, right? Thank you, Mayor Bernstein. I'd like to echo Amy's thanks to the ambulance corps and the fire department. These are people who weekly, if not daily, are donating their time for basically essential services, and they're volunteers. So each and every one of them, and many of the names I recognize, they've been around for decades. It's just, we're so lucky. And I think Liz Holman, you kind of, touched on that we're a great town. We work together and we're doing good things. So I want to thank all of you for what you've done and what you're gonna do. I had to review the agenda twice because there were so many things on the consent agenda, and you can just breeze down it, but each of them has hundreds of hours, dozens of people putting this stuff together. So I want to thank all of you, the team, Michelle, Lissa. I don't want to leave anybody out, so everybody. With regard to DPW, I'm looking forward to another year with a great department. It's a great team. There's nothing spectacular going on. Well, there's water breaks, and but that happens. It's part of an aging town. But I believe that the water department under Liz Holman's leadership is handling it well. So on a side note, as a pet project of mine, styrofoam was recycled twice in Bergen County, the Saturday after Christmas and the Saturday after New Year's. Mark Savastano volunteered for the Christmas one. He said it was great. And I went to this January 2nd one in Fair Lawn, and it was a well-run operation by volunteers. And I thank Bergen County, Sustainable Jersey, Bergen County Hub. And I look forward to the assistance of the town, keeping us notified of when these collections are. And there will be more coming up. So for those people who are excited about saving styrofoam, the key thing is it's only packaging styrofoam, no food containers. If you've got a food container that's styrofoam, unfortunately, you have to throw it away. It won't be recycled. It'll be rejected at the recycling center. And the same with the styrofoam peanuts. Unfortunately, they're currently not recyclable. But anyway, so I will stop there with my styrofoam update. And And as I said, I look forward to another year with a great team and the great things that we're about to do.
Great, Jim, thank you very much. We have the time. I'm going to give my mayor's report now as opposed to at the end of the reorganization meeting, as we have the time. 2020 was unlike any other year in any of our recent history. And we faced challenges that we've never seen before. And at the same time, I think we also saw the best in our neighbors, the best in people who were around us. On a local level, I think Allendale came together as a community and bonded like people in Allendale do. And I've seen that under Mayor Emeritus Liz White, Mayor Emeritus Vince Barra. As a council member, in the darkest times, we step up, and this was just like that. And I could not have been prouder to be the mayor during this time, as trying as it was. Council, I've been very fortunate to have a great council to work with, as we're all volunteers, zero salary. The meetings start at 7:30 in the morning. They start at 5:30 at night after work. They go on weekends, all volunteer work, and at many times thankless, but I don't want it to go unthanked here. And I'd like to take the opportunity to the six of you to thank you for everything you did this past year. To the borough department, Ron, what you did this past year, I could take the next hour and still not touch on everything. You know, I won't.
Don't do that.
But to everything, there's not a part of this borough that you haven't, lent your skill, your ingenuity, and your resources to. And thank you. To listen, everyone in the finance department, thank you we could not do it without you. Michelle, Tatiana, everyone in the clerk's office, you kept us running through 2020. How you did it, I'm not really sure, but you did. Putting this reorganization meeting together, no small feat, and thank you very much from the bottom of all of our hearts. I know you don't want the recognition.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It won't be in the minutes.
Right. Please put it in the minutes. If ever writing the minutes, please put it in. To all our professionals, some who are on the call, some are here in person, we are truly appreciative of the way we can look to you and you give us the guidance. To our legal counsel, Ray Wiss, Tom, and TJ, we rely on you heavily throughout the year, knowing you're a phone call away, knowing you're at the meetings, knowing you're guiding us through. We are indebted and grateful. This year, we had to rethink as to how we were going to govern and how we were going to do it. And when March hit, we had to do things differently. And we were able, I say we, not me, but all of us, were able to adapt and adjust. We moved to virtual mayor and council meetings. We ensured that our roads were paved, the garbage was picked up, the licenses and permits continued to be issued. Every day, and I remember because I was here, it was not, well, we can't do it. It's how are we going to do it with the limitations that we had. My hat's off to everyone. Our fields were great. Recreational facilities were up and running to the extent that they were able to be used. We accomplished this through hard work, ingenuity, and leadership of the whole Allendale team. And as mayor and council and borough and everyone and the employees down. And this amazing group kept our borough running without interruption. And I'd like to thank all of the employees. We saw firsthand the challenges that they faced, the innovative solutions that you enacted. And we could not be prouder of your accomplishments. First responders, we said it over and over again. They were on the front line. Police, fire, volunteer, ambulance, OEM, and CERT. They all rose to the challenge. They answered the bell, and they risked their lives to ensure our safety. And we were so fortunate to have you on the front line to protect us. As we enter 2021, our mission in Allendale is going to continue to adapt and to ensure that we're providing you, the residents, the best level of service that we can. I know it's not going to be easy, and I know that 2021 is going to offer us a new set of challenges. But if 2020 taught us anything, it's that Allendale is a strong community and has and will continue to overcome any challenge that we face together. So on behalf of the borough, I extend my best wishes to all the residents, to everyone for a prosperous year ahead. There are good things on the horizon. We're starting to see that with vaccinations occurring. We can start to see the light at the end of the tunnel. And again, to all of Allendale, Happy New Year. Thank you very much. Staff reports. Ray?
Thank you, Mayor. Despite the intervention of the holidays, it actually has been a very busy 2 weeks since our last meeting, but I'll defer any substantive comments until our next meeting. For now, I do want to congratulate Council members Wilsinski and O'Connell as they embark on their new terms a little later this evening, and also to thank the governing body for my reappointment. It's truly a privilege to work with all of you, and I do look forward to the year ahead. And finally, I want to extend my best wishes to everyone for the new year on so many fronts. Hopefully 2021 is a very positive year for all of us, for our families, for our friends, for the borough, and for our country. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Ray. Thank you very much. Michelle?
Thank you. In the clerk's office, 2020 was many things, a year of growth, commitment, perseverance, and endurance. It was a lot of transition with some longtime employees leaving and retiring and others stepping into new roles. And I'd just like to take a minute to thank a few people. Deputy Clerk Tatiana Marquis, who stood together with me to get everything done no matter what. I would be lost without her. John Gill, who only joined us in September. It feels like you've been here 100 years, but you hit the ground running and stepped in to be an integral part of our team. So thank you. Linda Garofalo, who she's always willing to help the clerk's office in any way. To the other borough employees, department heads, and our professionals, especially Ray Wiss and the others that are on tonight. They helped us, they answered our questions, they were patient with us, especially me, while we were learning, so thank you. To Ron Kistner for always believing in us and just being the best team leader. And Ron, I still have my pink Ronette shirt, my t-shirt. I didn't wear it tonight, but I do have it, and it's one of my cherished memories from the county. And so thank you very much. And to the governing body for giving us this opportunity and having the confidence in us to continue in 2021. And just some highlights. We received and responded to in the clerk's office. I was going to play a game with you guys, but we're running out of time. So a combined 36,259 emails in the year 2020. That's an average almost between John, Tatiana, and I getting an average of 100 emails a day. Our phone system doesn't allow for actual data, but based on our own records, we get at least 25 calls per day. Thankfully, we had 2 seamless elections, knock on wood. We responded to, and actually Tatiana mostly, working with all the departments. So I say we, because it really was a team effort. 601 Oprah requests. We processed 407 compost permits, 394 dog licenses, cat licenses, liquor licenses, raffle licenses, and Crestwood Lake registrations. And we generated over $30,000 in revenue. And I just wish everybody a happy new year, and I look forward to a better year in 2021. Thank you.
Great, thank you very much. Is Lissa, I don't know if Lissa is on.
She is.
Yes, I'm here.
Hi, Lissa. Anything you'd like to say? Would you like to give a report?
No, I think Matt pretty much handled a lot of what we've been working on. The finance office, between tax and payroll and budget, we've been busy. And that's about it.
Hey, what about water? Don't you love water? You spend time with water.
Oh, water, it's such a dream. It's not a big deal, so I don't,
It's a wave of fun, as Jackie would say.
Right.
Oh, yes. Yeah, lots of fun.
Great. And Lisa, and thank you. And I, as I mentioned you before, thank you, you know, you for your guidance and leadership and helping us. You know, we often want to do things and you tell us, you know, whether we can afford it, how to best do it. So your counsel and your work for this borough, I don't have the time to thank you, but I'm going to try. So thank you very much for everything, all your help this past year.
You're welcome.
Ron?
I'll be very brief, Your Honor. In my 35 years of management, my goal has always been whatever I've managed, either a project or an apartment community or a town or the county, I always wanted to leave what I've managed better than I received it. I'm confident that the team that we have here in Allendale is the best team. It's a pleasure in every department working with the finance department, Alyssa and Carol and Gina, the clerk's office. I have the privilege of working with all three of these individuals at the pass in the county. We were lucky enough to steal them away from the county and bring them here. And we're just a top team. Construction department, Anthony Hackett has stepped in with his expertise. Again, we service the residents of Allendale the best we can. We work well together. We have fun doing it. And on the other side, I want to thank the mayor and council, previous mayor Liz White, and you filled in the same way. You let me do my job. It's all he is, the mayor and council. I'll admit it's like working with friends. It's not working for. I like you guys. I like everyone personally, and you're a pleasure to work for and with. Everybody knows I'm embedded in Hasbrook Heights where I live, and I'm on the council there, and I've been for many years. But if anything was ever a home away from home, I don't consider Allendale my job. I consider it a second home. The residents in town, you got some amazing people in this town that I consider friends now, and it really is a pleasure to be here and come to work every day. And thank you. I look forward to a few more years at least being here part of this team. Thank you.
Great, and thank you. And what you're feeling from the residents, you're feeling from all of us. Yeah, you are, if not a native son, you are certainly a resident here, and you're one of us, and we love having you. In the
I'm
waiting.
sorry, I forgot one, in my nervousness, I
That's
forgot
okay.
one person, Tyler Yacarino, our webmaster, who is always available to me and always saves me. And I thank you very much, Tyler, because I really, you have stepped in and literally saved me many times.
No, I'm glad you did. And at the risk of going over the 7:30, I would say that Tyler is one of those people that I know, and I try not to abuse it, but I can call him and I can say, Tyler, I need a favor. I can't do this, or help me do this. There's not one time that he's ever said no. I consider him a friend. He's a great employee of Allendale. He's a great resident. So Tyler, on behalf of all of us, I know, thank you very much. I open the meeting to the public on any issue in the waning moments of the Sine Die meeting.
Hello, it's Kristen Sarnas, 74 Heights Road.
Hey, Kristen.
Hi there, Happy New Year, everyone. I don't know if you want me to hold it until the next part of the meeting. That's fine with me if you need to close this one.
Yeah, if you don't mind, if you could hold it, since we're at 7:31 and probably it would be better then, if you don't mind.
No problem, I'll stay on.
Okay, great. Is there anyone else, if everyone could hold their comment for the reorganization meeting, that would be better. So I would request a motion to adjourn and close this meeting.
So moved.
Second.
Great. Roll call. All in favor?
Aye.
Great. Thank you, everyone. Okay, so we're going to close this and we can roll right into the next. Michelle, do we have to do anything to start to close this one and start the next one?
We're good, and then we'll, announce the time and.
But everyone can stay on, right?
Yes, everyone
Okay.
can stay on.
Okay, everyone. Welcome back, 7:32. p.m. This is the January 7th, 2021 reorganization meeting of the Allendale Mayor and Council. Welcome everyone who's joining us via video and teleconference. At this time, I would request that the public please mute their devices so as not to distract from the business of the meeting. There'll be 2 opportunities during this meeting for the public to speak. We will advise you at the appropriate times. Michelle, please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement.
Sure. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year confirmed at the annual meeting are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger. Notice of this meeting via Resolution 20-275 was sent to the record, the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger, and has been posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and borough website.
Thank you, Michelle. And if we can all please rise to salute the flag.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Great. So technically, Amy and Ed are not council members because their term ended at 12/31 of 2020. So we are, and we're going to have the honor and the pleasure to swear them in. But before we do that, we're going to conduct the roll call for everyone but them.
Correct.
Thank you, Michelle.
You guys did a lot of work this past week for not being on the council.
Yeah, Liz, we didn't want to tell them that until now, right?
I didn't know that. This is a new piece of information for me. I could have had so much fun with it all week.
Right.
Told Amy to forget our agendas.
All right, Michelle, it's all yours.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Here.
Councilman Sasso,
Here.
Councilman Strouch,
Here.
and Mayor Bernstein.
Here, thank you very much. And the next part of the agenda is swearing in of elected officials, or Michelle, should be gluttons for punishment.
I'll
So,
put that in the minutes.
right. So on November 3rd, 2020, Allendale voters cast 2,713 ballots for Ed O'Connell, 2,797 ballots for Amy to serve 3-year terms on the council. On November 20th, the Bergen County Board of Elections certified their election. Ed and Amy, congratulations. As you have served tirelessly for the benefit of our residents. We are thrilled that you've decided to run again and that you've been elected and that your willingness to serve. What I said before in my earlier report is everyone should know completely volunteer, but you wouldn't know it from the time that they put in and what they do, all without compensation, consideration, typically without thanks. But what you guys have done for Allendale and are willing to do and continue to do is wonderful. And we look forward to having you continue to serve in the best interest of Allendale. So I'm going to swear in Ed, and then I think Mayor Emeritus Barra is going to swear in Amy. Good.
Yep,
So,
thanks.
great. Thank you, Amy. I don't care if you want to put there.
No, wherever you are.
Okay, up and down.
Oh, repeat what you said.
Okay.
What's that? See you in a minute.
Ed, Julie, thank you. I know you've been down this road before. You've been sworn in freeholder. You've been sworn in here. We thank you for everything you've done. You are an asset to the mayor and council, and we're thrilled that you're willing to do it again.
Thank you, Mayor. My pleasure.
Beginning on vital. I state your name.
I, Edward O'Connell,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and that I will bear true faith
and I will bear true faith
and allegiance to the same
and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and the governments established in the United States
and in this state
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of councilman of
all the
borough.
duties of councilman of the Borough of Allendale
Thank you, according to the best of your ability,
according to the best of my ability,
so help you God.
so help me God.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
And to the whole family, thank you for lending him to us as many hours as you do. I know.
Okay, give a wave to everyone.
Okay.
Take a picture with me.
family around.
Oh, yeah.
Thanks. Mayor, come on. We'll kick you out in a minute.
Now you're in.
Want one with us?
Yeah.
Put them down.
Just take them all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Put them on.
You got that.
Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you so much, everyone.
Yes, sure. Not a problem.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Good job.
All right.
Great, and now we have the honor and the pleasure to have Mayor Emeritus Vince Barra, who's going to swear in Amy. Mayor Barra, the floor is yours.
Okay,
Gotta get my Bible, hold on.
thank you, Mayor.
Thank you.
Look how big this Bible is.
Wow.
Good thing Rich is strong.
It's a good word.
Left hand,
You
right?
know, tonight it's my privilege truly a privilege, to administer the oath of office to Amy Wilczynski. You know, I would be remiss if I did not state on the record that Amy has been one of the hardest working and dedicated council members that I have ever served with over the many years that I've been involved in the municipal government in Allendale. And Amy, we truly owe you a debt of gratitude for your dedication and service to Allendale. You are the absolute best. And the public will never know. Liz Holman does. The public will never know the thousands, and I don't use that term loosely, the thousands of hours that you have put in, and particularly on the 220, 230, the former Black Millwork site. It has been a daunting task, but you have been the leader of that team, and you have just done a phenomenal job. And I personally thank you because I know what you've gone through, the blood, sweat, and tears that you have. So without further ado, please place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right hand, and repeat after me. I state your name,
I, Amy Wilczynski,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
that I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and that I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all of the duties of councilwoman of the Borough of Allendale,
all of the duties of councilwoman of the Borough of Allendale,
according to the best of my ability,
according to the best of my ability.
so help me God.
So help me God.
And God bless you.
Thank you, Vince. I'm very humbled by your words. I really am. Woohoo!
And
Look at my new little nephew. See Archie?
yeah, I'm gonna go,
We have
I'm
a
gonna
little
go
fun here.
off script for a moment. I see we also are honored to have Mayor Emeritus Liz White here. And so if Liz, if you wanted to say any words, it's not on the agenda, but I welcome you to the meeting and I open it up to you.
Oh, thank you, Mayor. You know what? I just want to take a very quick second. It's not easy to say I'll run again. It's not easy to go through the process. It's not easy on the families, and it's really can be tough to wrap your head around doing it. And I really want to thank Amy and Ed for their dedication to Allendale, because without them, you know, being part of the team, we would not be where we are today. So from the bottom of my heart, truly, you know, I know what it takes to be there. And I am so very grateful that you said yes this year. And I know everybody in Allendale is as well. So thanks. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay. Next on the agenda, public comment on agenda items only. So is there anyone who wishes to be heard on agenda items only? Kristen, I don't know if it was an agenda item or you want to wait till the next time.
It was the agenda of the other meeting.
That's fine. If you want to speak now, you can speak now.
Okay. It's very short, I think. I would just like to know if someone would be willing to give the layman's explanation of Resolution 2283, which was the one where we were demanding New Jersey government to administer the provisions of the Affordable Housing Act. I read through it, but it's just a lot of kind of mumbo jumbo, and I was hoping that someone could just give me like the summary of that, what we're trying to accomplish.
Sure. I mean, I'm going to try to make sense of the Michigas as to what's happened over the last, X number of years will be difficult. So 1975, did you try to get through the language? Okay. So Supreme Court, Mount Laurel 1 said that every town that we needed to provide for affordable housing. 1983, Supreme Court in Mount Laurel 2. And then in the New Jersey legislature in 1985, the Fair Housing Act, which said that we had the obligations to provide housing. And COA adopted procedural and substantive rules which provided clear guidance to the municipalities. And if we still have Vince and Liz, because how many hours of sleep they lost trying to comply to meet our affordable housing obligations. But lo and behold, and the COA assigned a fair share numbers to each town. And the Borough of Allendale met its first and second round affordable housing obligations through the COA process. COA then obliged by Fair Housing Act to adopt the third round rules to take effect in 2004, but never adopted the rules that were acceptable to the courts. The Supreme Court stepped in, finding that COA's failure to adopt the third round rules forced the court to intervene. The Supreme Court designated Mount Laurel judges in each of the 15 court vicinages. And instead of providing clear guidance like the COA rules did, the Supreme Court in Mount Laurel 4 set forth vague standards that led to a complex system of non-uniform implementation. So no real rules as to how to comply or to meet or what we needed to do. So we no longer had clear and concise procedural substantive rules to follow, and we no longer had one tribunal to decide these issues. And certainly I know, I remember seeing Mayor White after she spent how many hours, you know, banging her head against the wall and you know, and pleading with them and trying and forcefully, you know, trying to negotiate a good deal for Allendale, which she did. The Mount Laurel, it's been 5 years since the Mount Laurel 4 opinion was issued. And they're still, they haven't remedied the situation. They still left us somewhat loose and in uncharted territory. So by the governor and the legislature and COA ignoring their responsibilities, we have this burdensome, time-consuming process to try to obtain 4th round Mount Laurel compliance, which will start in 2025. So we are imploring them to take immediate and decisive action to restore a viable administrative remedy that we can use to figure out what we need to do to go forward.
Yeah, Mayor, if I can supplement what you said is, and perhaps also answer part of Kristen's question, is historically the Council of Affordable Housing was the administrative agency that uniformly issued regulations statewide, and therefore in determining what the local obligation was, there was a uniform set of rules and regulations that COA had adopted, and all of the communities could rely on a specific set of standards in measuring their obligation. Whether they agreed or disagreed with it, there was a set of objective standards. When there was a COA deadlock going back several years ago, in essence, since the Council on Affordable Housing could no longer promulgate those standards, the Supreme Court, still, you know, indicating that the law had to be complied with, basically left it up to the judiciary, not only in each county, and in each region, and we're Bergen counties in the Bergen-Hudson Passaic region, but each municipality. So instead of having a uniform agency and uniform procedures, what we had was almost like the Wild West. Every case was decided individually by a Superior Court judge. There was nothing that said that the outcome of a low and moderate income housing litigation in Allendale would be governed by the same standards as one in Upper Saddle River. So all of the objectivity, right or wrong, all of the objectivity of the process that had historically existed was no longer around. And this resolution is basically saying, state of New Jersey, get your act together, get COA back in place, adopt uniform standards, so at least we can all play by the same rules of the game.
Thank you. That's very, very helpful. And how likely is it, do other boroughs and towns make the same kind of resolution? And do we think that we have like the power of a group that is going to go and get the state to do something? Or are we thinking we're just going to put this out there that we would love to have these standards and rules, but do we not think they're actually going to give us anything?
This resolution, I happen to know, is being circulated statewide. What impact, obviously hard to tell, although I know that I have been on at programs where the legislative leaders of both the majority and minority party have, at least facially, indicated that there is a need for objective regulations again. It's a matter of their getting it done. I mean, obviously they're dealing with other priorities beyond this, but for municipalities, when you think of the money that was expended by municipalities to individually litigate, which meant having their attorneys, their planners, their experts on an individual basis go through this process, it was an exorbitant amount of time, effort, and money. So I would like to think that the legislators and the governor's office will ultimately be true to their word. As the mayor mentioned, we're just getting past the 3rd round cycle. This is with an eye forward to the 4th round cycle, basically saying, let's not do this again.
Right.
Very good, thank you. If there's anything that the community members can do to help with the initiative, I hope you'll let us know.
Great, Kristen, thank you. Appreciate that. I appreciate the question and appreciate the offer to help as well.
Sure. And Happy New Year to everyone, and thank you for your work.
Thank you. To you as well. Happy New Year. Anyone else from the public wishing to be heard on any agenda items? Okay, not seeing anyone. Close the meeting at this time to the public. And now the roll call of the 2020 governing body. So Michelle, please conduct the roll call of the 2021 governing body.
Councilwoman Homan,
Here.
Councilman O'Connell,
2020. Wait,
he's here.
Yeah, he's here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think he went back downstairs so that we are socially distanced.
Councilman O'Toole,
Here.
Councilman Sasso,
Here.
Councilman Strouch,
Here.
Councilwoman Wilsinski,
Here.
and Mayor Bernstein.
Here. Thank you, Michelle. So we have 8 resolutions, 2101 through 2108, which will be considered separately. So first one, 2101, approve order of voting. I would request a motion to approve resolution 2101 to approve the order of voting.
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you. Amy, second.
O'Toole.
Homan. Okay, thank you, Liz. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Here.
Councilman
Yes, I mean, yes. You shouldn't let me go first. Maybe you should reconsider that order.
Yeah, that's a lot of pressure.
So yes.
Councilman O'Connell. I think he's still having technical difficulties.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Yes, thank you, Ed.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes, and here.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great. Next is 2102, election of council president. So I would
I would
request,
like to nominate, sorry, jump right in here. I would love to nominate my dear friend and an extremely wonderful, warm, and intelligent woman, Liz Homan, to be council president for the year 2021.
great. I think that's a wonderful nomination. Any request a second?
Nothing would give me more pleasure than to second that nomination.
Great, thank you, Steve. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Do I abstain? What do I do here?
So yes.
yeah, you can vote. Okay. Councilman
Yes.
O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
100% yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes. Hey, Lizzie.
Councilman Strouch,
An enthusiastic yes. Thank you,
and
Liz.
Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Big yes.
Great, and if I was permitted to vote, I would enthusiastically vote yes as well. Liz, thank you. I know you will. We are honored to have you as president. I know you will wear that role, that hat wonderfully. So thank you very much and congratulations.
well, thank you. Does that mean I get to say something?
Sure, go ahead.
So I thank you so much. It's a total honor for me to serve as the council president for the 2021. I mean, I begin my 7th year in the council, and I certainly do look forward to ensuring that our council continues to work as a team, that we continue that long history of putting Allendale first and making sure we don't have any of our own personal agendas. I consider each of you all, the members of our elected team and our borough employees, you guys are all such good people, and I enjoy the opportunity I have to work with all of you and serving the Allendale, the whole community. And Ed and Amy, I can't thank you both enough for signing on again and your willingness to serve Allendale. Ed, it's been such a pleasure to continue to get to know you and your family, to problem solve together. And I'm just grateful for the opportunity to have you continue on the council. And Amy, I remember sitting with Bob Pash 10 years ago and saying, let me call Amy and see whether she'd be interested in running. And, you said yes. And Vince talked about the amount of time, and I do know. And I've seen you, you know, just not only with 220, 230, but it's everything you do, the excellent communication that you have to all of us as council members and to the community as a whole, and just your get it done. I mean, the grants, the streetscapes, the, you know, everything that Crestwood Lake, and this year, just not only the improvements that we've had and the changes that we've made, but quite honestly, pushing to have it open this year. So just thank you, and thank you to the council and Ari for wanting me to be council president.
And Liz, thank you. I'm gonna just, again, I'm gonna go off script one more minute and then I'll get right back to the agenda. I think it says a lot when I look into, not the audience, but I see Mayor Liz White, Mayor Vince Barra, Jackie McSwiggan. These are the people that sat up here and gave hours and days and weeks and years. But we become like family, and we very much care about each other. And that's, I think, one of the things I know when I started with Vince Barra, you know, there is a closeness. And I think it's in other towns where they spend, you know, 4 hours yelling at each other or saying negative things. We don't have that kind of council. I think we were fortunate. And I think the fact that Liz, Vince, and Jackie are here, not only to support Amy and Ed and Liz and everyone else, I just think it speaks volumes. So to everyone, I just didn't want to let that opportunity go without saying that and noting it and thanking everyone. 2103, request a motion to approve resolution 2103 to approve the time and place of mayor and council meetings for 2021.
So moved, Strouch.
Thank you, Jim. Second.
Second O'Connell.
Thank you, Ed. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great. 21-04, appoint borough professionals, and some are here on the call, which I appreciate that you came to the meeting. I know if you could be here in person, you would. So I appreciate all of the guidance that you've given us last year, and you will give us this upcoming year. So I would request a motion to approve resolution 21-04 for the appointment of borough professionals.
So moved, Sasso.
Thank you, Steve. Second.
O'Toole.
Thank you, Matt. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you. So 2105 to confirm the standing committees and 2106 to appoint the standing committees. We have to do them separately, but certainly the committees didn't change, but nor did your position change. And I thought that, you know, while in certain years mayors are apt to change it, you're so good at what you do and you work so well together, and we've accomplished so much that I really thought, at the risk of saying, please do it again this year, I didn't want to change anything for the sake of changing. And as I said to a couple of you, you know, you've just done wonderful jobs this past year. So my side note to all of you, request a motion to approve resolution 2105 to confirm the standing committees.
Homan, yes.
Thank you, Liz. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Amy. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And 2106 to appoint the standing committee. So everyone is going to stay in their same spot. So I would request a motion to approve resolution 2106 to appoint the standing committees.
So moved.
So moved.
Thank you, Steve. Second.
Second O'Connell.
Thank you, Matt. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Thank you. Next is
2107 to
21
appoint the fire chief and assistant fire.
Thank you. To appoint a fire chief and assistant fire chief, to Rob Pollock as fire chief and Dave Baez as assistant fire chief. So I would request a motion to approve resolution 2107.
So moved, O'Connell.
Thank you, Ed. Second.
O'Toole.
Thank you, Matt. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Next is 2108, appoint fire official, and it's a motion to approve the appointment of Kevin Todd as the fire official. I would request a motion to approve resolution 21-08.
So moved, O'Connell.
Thank you, Ed. Second.
O'Toole.
Thank you, Matt. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell.
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you. And next is the recognition of swearing in of the 2021 officers. So typically at the reorganization meeting, the room is filled, and one of the honors and pleasures is to swear in the fire department and the ambulance corps. But obviously the room was not filled tonight, and due to COVID, that wasn't possible. But it was too important to us, to all of us, for that to be done virtually. So this past Sunday, with the help of Michelle and Ron and John Gill and Tyler and everyone else, we did it at the ambulance corps. And I thought it was a great ceremony, both of them. What particularly now, 2020 and 2021, as being first responders, what they've done and what they're willing to do, I want to thank them. I want to thank them as the mayor and council, on behalf of the borough, on behalf of every resident in Allendale, from every life you saved or touched in 2020. Before I read, so I will read their names. You are the backbone of the community, and they were sworn in on Sunday, but I'd just like to acknowledge them here. Fire Department, Rob Pollock as chief, Dave Baez as assistant chief, Michael Peeney as first captain, Dennis Murphy as second captain, Matthew Hillman, first lieutenant, Chris Rago, second lieutenant, and Kevin Todd, the fire official. So that's the 2021 board for the Allendale Fire Department. And for the ambulance corps, Daryl Demore Bataro, chief, Robert Odo, assistant chief, Stephanie Peeney, first lieutenant, Chandra Priya Lopinto, third lieutenant, Vincenzo Bataro, president, Jose Diaz Hernandez, vice president, Karen Clark, recording secretary, Linda Morgan, corresponding secretary, and Beth Filstra, treasurer. So thank you to all of them. I also want to recognize former Fire Chief John Tripp Rubino III, who completed his term of office. I presented him with a proclamation on Sunday, but I wanted to publicly thank him for his leadership of the department throughout this unprecedented and difficult time, with his example of devotion, duty, and integrity, compassion towards everyone. On behalf of the governing body and the community, I wished him success then and now in his future endeavors. And as I said on Sunday, there was not a time this past year at the OEM calls or any time when, if we needed something from the fire department and we called him, he said yes. And we truly thank him for his dedication. Next, mayor's appointments. For the Land Use Board, Ron Kistner, Class 2 for 1 year, is being appointed. Councilman Sasso, Class 3 for 1 year. Joe Daloisio, Class 4 for 4 years. Michael Sirico, Class 4 for 4 years. And Tyler Yacarino, alternate number 1 for 2 years. So to the 5 of you, thank you for everything you've done and your willingness to serve on this very, very important board.
Thank you, Mayor. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. The Library Board of Trustees. The appointments, Sheila Granowitz for 5 years, Catherine Shaw for 5 years, and I think she's the longest running president, or her term, she has the longest term for president, which most appreciative of her time and effort. And to Tom Zambroda, who is coming on to this board. I know he's going to be a great addition to this board. I know he's happy to be on the board, and we are thrilled to have him. So my thanks to the 3 of them. The superintendent of schools has reappointed Melissa Duncan as his representative. So Melissa will be back, and appreciative of that. And to Sandy Desmond, whose term ended in December. I want to personally thank her on behalf of the board for her time served as a library trustee. So to everyone on the library board, thank you. Next, on the consent agenda, I trust that everyone has read it. It's, I don't want to say it's perfunctory, but it's your standard reorganization resolutions. So if there are any questions, I'll ask them. If not, I would request a motion to approve the consent agenda, which is resolutions 2109 through 2164.
So moved, O'Toole. Ouch.
Thank you, Jim.
Yeah, second.
Amy? Okay, thank you, Amy. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Holman,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell,
Yes.
Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso, Councilman Sasso? He's having technical difficulties. Councilman Strouch
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Any unfinished business? Any new business? Committee reports. You all gave your reports, but is there anyone who wishes to speak at this time? Any council members?
Actually, I would.
Okay.
First of all, I just want to thank everybody for all those kind words. Honestly, coming from especially Mayor Emeritus Vince Barra is just quite humbling. If anybody knows, he's was really the single most person who turned this borough around when he became mayor. He got the budget in shape. He's the one that spearheaded all of our fair share housing. The borough would certainly not be in the shape that it is right now. And then following him, Mayor Emeritus Liz White, who both have been a true mentor to me, and following their leadership has been just really a path that I have learned from and I continue to learn from. I mean, both of them still put in a lot of time, especially Vince, who is on the 220-230 team. So it is really incredible to hear such words from folks like you, and of course Liz Holman, who works with us as well. You guys are all just super, super kind, and I'm just very, very humbled to be part of this team, to be part of this council. We all do this because we love Allendale. It's nothing about egos or anything. It is time, it's grit, but it's really rewarding. You can make a difference on this level that we're at, and we all have made a difference. It's a really great council to work with, and our professionals are just wonderful. Really, they have our back, and as well as all of our staff. Ron Kistner, who's running the show, really puts in above and beyond his time, and he has a great team behind him as well. So it is my honor to serve Allendale. Again, thank you all for voting for me and allowing me this wonderful opportunity, and I look forward. I guess I can't slack off now after all those words, huh? I have to keep it going.
Oh, no.
I promise to do my best.
You could have had 7 days off, according to Ari. I didn't know.
I guess I could have. So, no, in all seriousness, thank you, everybody.
Thank you. Thank you. Any other council members wish to speak? Okay. I'm not going to give my report again. I did before. Staff, everyone's okay? The public, I open the meeting to the public for the last time. Anyone from the public wish to be heard? Not seeing anyone. I would request a motion to adjourn the meeting.
So moved.
O'Connell.
Thanks, Matt. Ed, a second?
O'Toole.
Okay, Matt, Ed and Matt. To everyone, before we say all in favor, thank you very much. Appreciate it. It's been some year, but 2021, from all of us to you, thank you for everything, and hopefully it's a great year for everyone. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. Good night, everyone.
All right. Good night, everyone. Good night.